hasn't really done anything that's hurt the team as much as people expected it to. And that's myself included. I thought there may be some problems there. He's been incredibly efficient. I'll agree with Cam Hayward. I'll agree with TJ Watt, considering the fact he hasn't played in every game this season and is still among the league leaders in sacks this season. So when he has played, he has made a huge, huge impact. My next question to you would be, considering the fact that this team, with all its issues, is somehow, some way, that in no way you and I could probably describe or explain, they're still in the playoffs, still in the hunt for the division title in the AFC North. They're a game and a half out of first, despite being in last place, and only a half a game behind the two teams in second place. My question to you is, and I asked this question last night on the number one Cochran Sports Showdown, the possibility of this team still winning the division, how big is that for you? How plausible is that?
Not very. Josh, let me ask a question back to you. When you were growing up, were you a WWE guy, WWF back then, or were you WCW?
I was WWE.
Okay, but you also know that, like, in WCW, Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone were on opposite sides of a tag matchup, correct?
Yes.
And are you aware of the urban legend that when they both tripped each other up the court in the 1998 NBA Finals, they were actually paid to do that as part of a way to promote that match, which was happening like later that month?
I have heard the urban legend.
Okay.
Yes.
So you say that first of all, the AFC North is those two guys in 1998 tripping up and down the court in comedic fashion. So that's the first point I want to make very clear here. This is a division without a good team. Second off, plausible that the Steelers would win the division? No, I don't think so. That Lions tie just looks worse and worse with every passing week. They would have the tiebreaker right now if they were 7-6, not 6-1, over the Broncos, over the Bills, over the Browns. They would be seeing the Browns again, who they've already beaten in their building before the season was up. I just don't feel good about it. I don't think there's a good team in this division. They all have fatal flaws. Cleveland can't figure out how to play 60 good minutes, especially on offense. The Ravens are just doing a Houdini act from one week to the next, and that seems like their luck's running out even if Jackson's healthy. And the Bengals, by health and by talent, probably should win this thing, but look at them. They can't get out of their own way. All of that, though, is to say that doesn't mean the Steelers are suddenly a better pick. Like, what was the stat? I think they hadn't allowed under Mike Tomlin, and this is like alarming. This is nitty-gritty, like essence of the Steelers stuff. Under Mike Tomlin, they had never allowed a running back to go over 100 yards in the first half of a football game. It had been like an odd little quirk that Terrell Pryor had done it, but no running back had. Now 2 times in the last 3 weeks, Mixon, Dalvin Cook both go over that mark in one half. I mean, they can't run the ball they can't defend the run, and they can't really run the ball. They're not good. Roethlisberger, I just said he's been average, but it's mainly been bolstered by these incredible fourth quarter numbers when they're playing catch-up. Like, I know the other teams are bad. The Steelers might be awful in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it says something when you have an offense that can't score in the first half and a defense that can't stop anybody in the first half. And you have people that are trying to defend the defense that are saying that's the offense, and people that are defending the offense saying it's a defense. And those of us with rational brains are saying, well, it's both, because neither can get the job done. So that's something that stands out. We're going to take a break. We come back. I want to talk about the Penguins and what they're doing in during this 4-game win streak, trying to make it 5 tomorrow night. Plus, I'm going to get over the fact that Chris used a wrestling analogy and try to process that. We'll be right back.